Hey there, everyone. This is Haddon Kime. I am the composer, lyricist, and director of Lag Zoomsical. I've been a fan of listening to commentary tracks for a very long time, so hopefully this won't be too boring. I would like to first off describe the audience that I am recording this for is pretty specific. We are going to have our Zoomsicle published by Stage Rights, and so I'm talking mainly to theatrical producers and directors and technicians who have licensed the show and would like to know more about how we did this because we are theater people and have been kind of pushed onto film, not kicking and screaming. Film is a wonderful medium, don't get me wrong. But it's a little different. Gosh, I gotta introduce our cast: Minka Wiltz, Rin Saver, Trevor Rache Perry, and Googie Uderhart, and also sweet little Maisie Jane. Hello, little Maisie Jane Uderhart and Barbara Cole. There, they are all wonderful. That's the principal cast. We have the Doug coming up, Doug Shipman, a little later, but that's I'm going to talk probably over his appearance with some other stuff. The process of we went through a process of trying to keep this an actor's medium, even though we were filming it. We had a number of technical issues to overcome, and we were kind of making it up as we went along. Luckily, Ariel Fristo at Out of Hand Theater decided, just make it happen. And so that's what we did. To keep it an actor's medium, I wrote this as a theater piece, and hopefully it will be performed live one day. It has stage directions in it. This entire cast, funny enough, has still never been in the same room together. But what we did was we decided to do two takes of it right up front. Once the actors had their tracks, I made pretty much two separate tracks for each actor. One is me singing their part only, and one is me singing every other part but their part. I also have tracks where it's just a piano playing their part and sheet music. So kind of covering the bases there after the piece is written, giving the actors the tracks. And with all of that, these are professional actors and they learned it very quickly. So we were pretty much up and running, within 3 or 4 days. They were able to, do their entire track through the piece. So we scheduled the first day, the actors an hour apart, individual Zoom sessions with me only, listening to them. I think we started with Googie that morning and then went to Trevor, then Rin, then Minka. But anyway, they were an hour apart. And then I took all of those takes and edited them together for a first take film, knowing that no one was ever going to see this except for our actors. This gives the power back to the actor from the director to say, okay, now I see how this is coming together. And all of these other actors are making these choices. And so in the second take, I can adjust. And I will get to the software stuff here that made it so that we had to do it this way because of latency issues, of lag issues, ironically. But basically, we all decided, between the four of us, that we would keep Rin and Googie's take, and we would have Trevor and Minka build upon their takes once they had seen it, so that there was kind of a foundation down. And it worked really well. So what you're seeing here is the second take from Minka and Trevor, and the first take from Rin and Googie. And it's good that Rin didn't need to spend another hour in the hot sun in her car. So appreciate doing that. Okay, software. So we looked and looked and looked, and we tried and tried at the beginning of April 2020. To find a low latency solution, which is funny. Latency kind of equals lag, and this is one of the great metaphors. The metaphor of this show is that our lives are lagging, but it's also that we have a technical lag now when we communicate with one another, which is so apparent in a musical. I worked with and talked to some fantastic theater technicians up in New York, here in Atlanta, in the Bay Area. And nobody at the time, and I have to say at the time, in April 2020, had figured out how to press go on a musical cue and have actors in remote places all start singing and hearing it at the same time so that there was no lag and no latency. They had figured it out for plays, and I wanted to mention a couple of the places that I looked. Just in case if they've updated their software, or if somebody's found a solution, maybe that would be great for your production. Then you can have all your actors sing at the same time. The first place I looked was vMix and NDI, which is vmix.com, vmix.com. They have great ways for low latency and audio to work on a network. However, still some latency, especially for something like the quarantine fugue in here. It just, even a quarter second of latency would have messed that up, and that's what we got. The same was happening with OBS, which is an open source solution for live streaming. Same issue with latency, but maybe they've updated it. Who knows? Also looked at Dante, and now they have, which is like an audio over IP. It's like an ecosystem that they have, and it also now has a video component. I think it's called Dante AV. So check that out. None of those worked, and I have friends that are educators, and they said, "Well, try, some of our solutions that we do in teaching classes." I looked at StreamYard, StreamYard, and that didn't work. So, uncovering lots of stones. There's really there's no latency product right now on the market that can make a musical happen. Right now, you have to record and then sync offline. It's not horrible to do, but for those of us that are theater folks, we like performing live and we like performing together. And I wish I could have given this cast that gift to perform this live. Weren't able to. I wanted to mention though that there's a website called musicaltheatereducators.org, and if you go there, musicaltheatereducators.org/COVID resources, there are a bunch of other things you can use. We're getting towards the end here, so I want to say that we produced this film in the May of 2020. As you know, each month of 2020 is kind of equal to a whole year in other years. It's been great to see all the new Zoomsicles that are being made. That we dropped ours on May 30th after finishing it about May 20th. And since then I've seen lots of great shows and musicals kind of come online, and people are experimenting. And this new digital proscenium that we have, which is cool, but is going to end someday. And all of our skills that we're bringing into this, we can take to to make our productions better. I don't think it's going to be necessarily time lost, but it's just not what we want. It's been great to see so many people embracing Zoom and doing so much great technical innovation. So hopefully we can highlight that on the website, zoomsical.com, which is, going to have a blog. And, the more Zoomsicles that are made, we'll try to post links and kind of be a place where we can all celebrate the innovations that, what is that old saying? Necessity is the mother of invention, I think. And that's what we have here. Oh, Minka is singing. And when Minka sings, oh man, everything good happens when Minka sings. Okay, I think that's all I have to say. I guess I can thank people now, starting with the cast. They're just amazing, all of these folks are people I've worked with on other shows and have been fantastic collaborators. And I originally wanted six, but we had a budget for four, and that covers the vocal range that I needed to write in. So that's what we got. And that's okay. That's okay. Maybe we'll do a sequel at some point. I wanted to mention, I guess, okay, now we're coming up on Minka. I love this part of Minka's performance. There's a look she gives us right here. That is key. Minka's character is, in my mind, powerful. She's not magical. That's a big difference. She's powerful. And with that look, she acknowledges our presence. And to me, makes it so that her advice to breathe is for all of us, not just the people in that class. So many great people in the credits here. Thanks to Zoe Cato for doing the logo. Out of Hand Theater for sure. Look at what they're doing. They're doing some amazing work. Outofhandtheater.com. Also, gosh, all those people. It's just too much. So let me just say, Zoomsical.com, haddenkeim.com. If you'd like more, thanks for listening.